Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, students. So today I'm going to start with the first classification, which is liquidity ratio. If you remember, in our last video we discussed that there are four classifications: liquidity ratio, activity or turnover ratio, solvency ratio and profitability ratio. These were the four classifications. So today we are going to start with the first one, liquidity ratio or short-term solvency ratio. So under liquidity ratio, what does liquidity ratio help us to analyze in a financial statement? So what is a financial statement? As I said, statement of profit and loss and balance sheet. There are a few more, but I'm not going to discuss this. At our level, we only require these two for the time being. So liquidity ratio, this helps us to analyze the firm's ability to pay its short-term debts. Sorry, it's not mentioned here, missed it out here. Short-term debts. That is, those payments which the firm should make within 12 months. We need to understand this. So over here, this ratio helps us to analyze the firm's ability to meet its short-term debts. So what are short-term debts? Those debts which the firm needs to pay off within 12 months. So why this calculation of ratios? What we try to understand here is that whether the firm has got enough current assets with itself, with the help of which the firm can make its immediate payments. That is, those debts which has to be paid within a maximum term period of 12 months. So by calculating this ratio, this is what we try to understand. So under liquidity ratio, there are two heads. The first one is current ratio and the second one is quick ratio or acid test ratio or liquid ratio. These are the two heads. So first I'll discuss the formula and I will try and explain you each and every item of the formula. That's for your understanding. So what is the formula here? Current ratio. What is the formula? Current assets divided by current liabilities. Very simple to remember. Current assets divided by current liabilities. So under current assets, what are the items? This is what you have already studied in class 11, but still I'll discuss it. But still let me tell you, what are current assets? Those assets which can be converted into cash within a maximum period of how much? 12 months. So those assets which is to be converted into cash within 12 months is known as current assets. Now, what are current liabilities for us? Current liabilities are those liabilities which the firm needs to pay off within 12 months. That is current liabilities. So let's say under current assets, the first point is current investments. So what are current investments? Those investments which the company has done, but the company will receive the cash, whatever, in bank, wherever, the company will receive the money within a max period of 12 months. They are known as current investments. Just like we have got non-current investments. What are non-current investments? If you have made an investment for more than 12 months, अगर आपने 12 मंथ के ज्यादा वक्त के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिए, मतलब आप आज इन्वेस्ट किए हो लेकिन आपको पैसा 12 मंथ में नहीं मिलेगा, कम 12 मंथ से ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा, then it comes under non-current investments. बट अगर आपका कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट है जो आप विद इन 12 मंथ्स कर सकते हो, मतलब जिसका पैसा आपको विद इन 12 मंथ्स आपको मिल जाएगा, तो इस तरह का इन्वेस्टमेंट्स को हम लोग करंट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बोल सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट है इन्वेंटरीज. इन्वेंटरीज मतलब वी अंडरस्टैंड इट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्टॉक. दूसरा नाम है, इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल टर्म टू यूज. इन्वेंटरीज दैट मींस जो स्टॉक आप दुकान में रखते हो, बिजनेस जो स्टॉक सेल करके बिजनेस कमा रहा है, दे आर नोन एज इन्वेंटरीज. लेकिन एक चीज याद रखना, इन्वेंटरीज का टोटल फिगर में लूज टूल्स, स्टोर्स एंड स्पेयर्स अगर इंक्लूडेड है तो ये माइनस करना पड़ेगा. लूज टूल्स, स्टोर्स एंड स्पेयर्स must be deducted from inventories to calculate the value of your current assets. Next, इसके बाद next क्या है? Trade receivables. Now remember, trade receivables में we are having two items. Only two items. There are no other items. One is bills receivable and the other one is sundry debtors. Now, if you have provision for bad debt, that must be deducted. That is, debtor में अगर provision for bad debt अगर minus है, तो you must deduct the figure of provision for bad debt and the net amount will come as current assets. Next comes cash and cash equivalents. We'll discuss about cash and cash equivalents in detail in cash flow chapter. But इस वक्त इतना याद रखना, कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट डेफिनेटली करंट एसेट है, क्योंकि मैंने क्या बोला था करंट एसेट के बारे में कि एनी एसेट व्हिच मस्ट बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू कैश विद इन अ मैक्सिमम पीरियड ऑफ 12 मंथ्स. तो कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट एक ऐसा चीज है जो या तो ऑलरेडी कैश है और विच इज वेरी नियर टू कैश। पैसा को तो कैन यू कन्वर्ट कैश इनटू सम अदर फॉर्म? नो यू कैन नॉट। तो कैश हैज टू बी अ करंट एसेट। तो सिमिलरली कैश तो ठीक है, बैंक बैलेंस ले लो, तो आप बैंक में क्या पैसे उठा के लाया तो इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू कैश। सो कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट्स में ऑब्वियसली यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कैश, बैंक बैलेंस, चेक। कोई आपको चेक दिया है तो विद इन 3 months यू हैव टू convert the check into your cash. So obviously cash and cash equivalent is something which should be converted into cash within a max period of 3 months. तो ये भी मेरा check is also a part of current assets. Similarly drafts, कोई आपको draft में payment कर रहा है, so all you have to do is that take the draft, go to the bank will pay you the money. So that is what draft is all about. So these are all part of current assets. Short term loans and advances. ना आप लोगों के दिमाग में चलेगा तो लोन माने लायबिलिटी, हाँ डेफिनेटली इफ यू टेक लोन लायबिलिटी, बट इफ यू गिव लोन इट इज एन एसेट, सिंपल। सो अभी आप बताओ यू आर टेकिंग अ लोन फ्रॉम समबडी, आपका लायबिलिटी बन गया। व्हाट अबाउट एसेट्स? नाउ यू हैव गिवन अ लोन फॉर 6 months टू समबडी। सपोज एज अ फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन आपका मेन काम है लोन्स एडवांस करना। आपका बैंक्स ले लो, बैंक जो लोन्स देता है, तो इफ द लोन इज फॉर 6 months, 7 months, or in simple word less than 1 year के लिए अगर लोन बैंक has advanced to somebody, it is definitely falling under the category of current assets. The next one, prepaid expenses, any payment that you have done in advance, अब तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा? सर्विस मिलेगा। Obviously आप ऐसा आदमी को पे नहीं करोगे जो आपको बोलेगा मैं 6 महीने बाद सर्विस दूंगा। नो, अभी पेमेंट कर दिए, सर्विस भी आपको अभी का अभी मिलना चालू हो जाएगा, बट यू मेड द पेमेंट इन एडवांस। तो ऑब्वियसली प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस इज आल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ करंट एसेट। एक्रूड इनकम, सिंपल बात, इनकम माने इनफ्लो ऑफ मनी, जो पैसा आपको आएगा। तो एक्रूड इनकम माने एनीथिंग दैट इज ड्यू टू बी रिसीव्ड, जो पैसा आपको मिलना अभी भी बाकी है, यू हैवंट रिसीव्ड द मनी येट, सो दैट इज एक्रूड इनकम। And if you pay tax to the government in advance, then in future there happens to be an adjustments over here, that is also a part of current assets. So these are my current assets. Next comes my current liabilities. Under current liabilities, what do we have? Short-term borrowings. इसमें बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट is also included. आपने पैसा उधार लिया है, borrowing किया है. Let's give you the example of bank overdraft. What is bank overdraft? When you are taking more money than what you have in the current account of the bank, it is known as bank overdraft. Say for example, आपके पास स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में एक करंट अकाउंट है, यू आर अ बिजनेसमैन, रिमेंबर फर्स्ट करंट अकाउंट है, यू आर अ बिजनेसमैन, बिकॉज करंट अकाउंट फैसिलिटीज आर मोस्टली गिवन टू द बिजनेसमैन, मोस्टली इट इज ऑलवेज गिवन टू द बिजनेसमैन। पीपल लाइक अस जिसका कोई बिजनेस नहीं है, वी आर नॉट एलिजिबल फॉर करंट अकाउंट। तो करंट अकाउंट में सपोज you have 1 lakh rupees, but right now you require 1,20,000 rupees. So obviously excess कितना आपको चाहिए ज्यादा, how much excess is required? 20,000 excess is required. This excess that is required is considered as overdraft because bank will give you this extra 20,000. 1 lakh तो आपका है, वो तो आपका अकाउंट में है, you can take it out any moment for business purpose. But if you are withdrawing more than what you have from the bank, there is a bank is giving you a loan. And that loan has to be paid with interest within a maximum term period of 12 months. So that's why bank overdraft is considered as a part of current liabilities. Next comes trade payables. Under trade payables, we have got sundry creditors and bills payable. Next is other current liabilities, current maturities of long-term debts, income received in advance. आपको पैसा एडवांस मिला है, अभी आपको सर्विस देना पड़ेगा, जस्ट लाइक प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस। प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस व्हाई इट इज अ करंट एसेट? प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस में यू आर मेकिंग द पेमेंट इन एडवांस, अब तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा? सर्विस, एसेट हो गया। इनकम रिसीव्ड इन एडवांस इसका ऑपोजिट है, दैट मींस अभी कोई और ने तुम्हें पैसा दिया, somebody else has paid you the money, now you are expected to provide service to that person, you cannot run away with that money, so it is considered as a current liabilities. Similarly, we have got outstanding expenses. किसी को पैसा पे करना बाकी है, स्टाफ को सैलरी देना बाकी है, it's a part of outstanding expense. जब तक पे नहीं करोगे, that's your part of current liabilities. Unclaimed dividend, very simple. Company has declared dividend. कंपनी का एक साल में 400 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट हुआ, कंपनी ने बोला इसका 10% सबको डिविडेंड के हिसाब से देंगे, बट कंपनी हैज डिक्लेयर्ड द डिविडेंड। but some shareholder hasn't come forward to claim that money. There can be various reasons. वो सब is not a part of topic of discussion here. But when the company declares a dividend, it is a duty of the shareholder to come forward and claim for it. होता क्या है, जब dividend declare होता है, company transfers that money into the shareholder's bank account. Now for some reason, there are some shareholder जिसका कोई ट्रेस नहीं है कंपनी के पास. वो लोग तो पैसा तो इन्वेस्ट किया था लेकिन कोई कारण से ट्रेस नहीं मिल रही. द बैंक इज अनएबल टू ट्रांसफर द मनी. सो नो वन हैज कम फॉरवर्ड टू क्लेम फॉर दैट डिविडेंड. सो दैट बिकम्स एन अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड. बट ये नहीं है कि कंपनी उसको भूल जाएगा. कंपनी विल नॉट पे हिम. तो कंपनी विल कीप इट अंडर अ सेपरेट हेड अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड. क्या पता बाद में आके अगर क्लेम कर ले. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कंसीडर्ड एज अ करंट लायबिलिटी. Calls in advance, I won't discuss this right away, right now, because this will be discussed in your company accounts chapter. जब हम लोग company accounts करेंगे, that time I'm going to discuss. Short-term provisions में provision for tax. So provision for tax is also a part of current liabilities. So this is what your current ratio is all about. Now the next ratio, it is a very very interesting ratio. Quick ratio, acid test ratio, liquid ratio. इतना सारा नाम है. Now let us understand. जहां पे we already have a current ratio, जहां पे with the help of current ratio, what can I do? I can easily analyze the short-term financial solvency of the company, whether the companies will have enough current assets to pay off its current liabilities. यही तो हम लोग analyze करते हैं ना यहाँ पे through current ratio. Then वापस quick ratio का क्या जरूरत है? Quick ratio is required because this gives us a better test of short-term financial solvency. फॉर्मूला में समझ में आ जाएगा. व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला? लिक्विड एसेट्स डिवाइडेड बाय करंट लायबिलिटीज. लिक्विड एसेट्स डिवाइडेड बाय करंट लायबिलिटीज. लिक्विड एसेट्स की तरफ देखो ध्यान से. लिक्विड एसेट्स इज इक्वल टू करंट एसेट्स माइनस प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस माइनस इन्वेंटरीज. तो इससे हम लोगों को क्या समझ में आया कि देयर आर सर्टेन करंट एसेट्स दो दे कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू कैश, but still it might take little bit more time to be converted into cash. So such assets, if removed, the remaining assets become liquid assets. So with the help of liquid assets, the company will be in a much more better position to understand how fast the current assets can be converted into cash to pay off its short-term obligations. I'll give you an example. First thing, let's talk about inventories. Now understand, inventory is a stock जो you are required to sell. Now inventory का first thing, there is no guarantee that it would be sold. I agree to the point that inventory is a current asset, but while calculating a quick ratio we will minus inventory to find out whether how fast the company can convert its current assets to pay off its current liabilities. So obviously in that case inventory cannot guarantee you a faster conversion into cash, because say for example you have sold inventories on credit. आपने स्टॉक बाकी में बेचा. इसका मतलब पहले इन्वेंटरी था, बेच तो दिया लेकिन बाकी में पैसा तो नहीं है. दैट मींस इन्वेंटरी अब कन्वर्ट किस में हो गया? डेटर्स में. डेटर से पैसा मिलेगा. जब तक डेटर से पैसा नहीं मिलेगा तब तक वो इन्वेंटरी जो आपने बाकी में बेचा, दो इट इज अ करंट एसेट, it has not yet been converted into cash. So that means inventories do take little bit longer time to be converted into cash. This is the reason why we normally do not take inventories as a part of which asset? Liquid assets. Though it is a current asset, but definitely we will take debtor as a part of liquid assets as well. Part of current asset as well as liquid assets. Why? Because if you compare inventory and debtor is little bit more faster to be converted into cash. That is the reason we go for debtor as a liquid asset, but definitely not inventories. Next is prepaid expense. इसमें तो पैसा ही नहीं आया prepaid expense में. कहाँ पैसा आया? You have expensed it. आपने खर्चा कर दिया, अभी आपको क्या मिलेगा? Only service. That's all. So there is no monetary consideration involved over here. So this is why prepaid expenses and inventories are deducted from my total value of current assets to calculate my liquid assets. This is how these two formulas are to be calculated. You really need to go through the formulas, you need to understand them. I've explained you. You can keep seeing the videos on and on again. You can keep calling me wherever you have doubts. In my next video, I will start doing sums on current ratio and liquid ratio. There are a hell lot of sums. We need to complete them step by step. Thank you.